Hello. Today is the 31st of December 2025 and the official ending of 2025. And so I'm not doing anything. And I decided to come out for a walk and head to the library. Good fresh air. I feel good. And the air was nice. So, just a final summary of life so far. So, 2021, as you already know, had my mental breakdown. 2021, 2022, 2023, I was just struggling up and down, left and right, going in circles. But during that time, I had people supporting me who gave me a purpose. Yeah, because I felt aimless. I felt like my whole world had. I don't even know how to explain it. But they gave me a purpose every day, working and volunteering at our local pharmacy. Gave me a reason to wake up in the morning. And they were very sweet, very understanding, and they integrated me into their work family, and I meshed well with them. I'm so thankful for the Royal Pharmacy and everybody there who have brought me up. They literally have pulled me up every day. And the manager there, oh my god, there were days, like I said before, where I did not want to leave the house. But because he called and because he was genuinely short-staffed at times, or he also made it his mission to make sure I would leave the house because he used to talk with my father and their friends. They would make sure I came out, and that has benefited me a lot. Even when I didn't want to, even when I'd kick myself after, even when I'd be miserable when I got home, even when I'd be miserable there, I'd be, when will this day end? I want to go home and be miserable. But like I said, that gradually changed as spending time with the most amazing, loving people I've ever met. It's like an awesome work family from different backgrounds. And they have helped me mature so much. Even though I was slow to begin with, extremely introverted, did not know how to make conversation because I was shy, and everything that I had gone through had set me back. They told me that, girl, since we've met at the time, compared to how you were when we met you, you're bubbly, you're outgoing, you know how to make conversations, and all of that. Because I couldn't do that previously. I mean, I could do that previously before 2021, but I was still shy. But I just reverted into myself, like really, really into myself, and found it hard to, I don't know, communicate. Anyway, there was other people who've been a constant for the last 4 years, and I have been going there continually, and I'm so happy that I met them, all of them. They've taught me well, and they've brought me up well, and they've brought me back from the depths of darkness continually. I started working in the library in 2024. I mean, when I say the library, you kind of wonder what library. There are many libraries. A library in a sixth form, a local sixth form. The sixth form I used to attend when I just finished high school. So I found my way back there again. And I was met with the most mature, most understanding, most professional, most proper people I've ever met. When I had my mental breakdown, I got put off working in the school for the longest time. And because of my health, I got put off, not willingly, working in healthcare because of the stress. At that time period, I couldn't handle stress, and the library was perfect. I fell in love with the work, with the children. It's not as easy as it sounds. It was pleasant though. Although I would have matured into a librarian, as I wanted to pursue a full-time career as a librarian. And I absolutely loved it. The kids were so sweet. Sure, I had some rambunctious ones. But you just had to sometimes just watch them. If it was the end of the day, let them make some noise. It won't hurt anybody. The library was empty. And then you had the sweet, shy ones who I saw myself, and I was like, oh my god, this was me when I was young. And then you had the anime fanatics, and I was like, oh, this was me when I was young, but they were bubbly, and I was like, that is good. And then you had the regulars who would always find solace in the library, and I was like, that is me. But at least you're talkative and loud and have friends, because they'd have come in their little groups, or you'd have the regular solo artist who occasionally came with his group of friends, and then you'd have the one who'd come on their own. I mean, the one who'd be on their own. And I was like, that is me. That was me. But even if you try and interact, it'd be a bit awkward. But you'd kind of just keep an eye on them from afar. It took a while to assimilate to the country, even in sixth form. It's only when I got to uni, in the final year, where I really felt like I had gotten used to the country. But it's only when I started my first job in a care home in the domestics department where I really, really, really got used to everything. And I had the most amazing team leader, or the housekeeper was really amazing. She brought me up well. She was an awesome mentor, and she made the job enjoyable. Because there's some people who make your life miserable, especially when they're in charge. But she was very supportive, and induction was awesome. And when she left, I kind of lost a part of myself, because she was the first person to ever take me under her wing, basically. And I loved that job. I mostly used to work in the laundry unit and occasionally help on the floor in the units with breakfast and stuff, predominantly the rehab unit, because they did find it difficult in the morning when you'd have to get the residents up for rehabilitation activities and all of that. So they'd have the domestic staff, predominantly the laundry unit, help with the breakfast. And that is where my story into becoming a healthcare stems from. I absolutely love the residents, and they're so sweet, although there are some people who are trouble. Well, for those who know, they know. And but despite that, I fell in love with the job. I was the happiest I've ever been when I was working as a care assistant. Although we had like a couple of units: dementia, rehab, palliative. Yeah, at first. And but things changed around a couple of years down the line when we were taken over, like, a new company and that. But rehab, oh my god, I'm sorry, that was one unit I did not like working in. No. And that's where there was the most toxicity. It was busy, it was stressful, and then you had toxic staff members. And I remember people used to avoid that unit, but there's some people who thrive there, but that wasn't my place. Palliative was really heavy, and I remember when I first witnessed a person passing away, or the process that got to me. It did, and I don't think I can do that anymore. I really don't think I can do that. And that challenging unit and dementia, I absolutely excelled. It wasn't easy, but I had an aptitude to those units. Palliative too, but it was just a heavy unit. But dementia unit, I loved it on days when the residents would respond positively and recognize you and laugh and smile. And challenging unit, like I said, it was a challenging unit. You would have to fight. You would have people biting and scratching you. You would have people nearly throwing things at you. But I have the fondest memories on the challenging behavior unit. And that is where I excelled the most. And that this is where I was predominantly placed, but obviously rotation. So I was flexible, I'd be rotated everywhere. And it gave me a good learning experience and helped me grow and be competent in many areas. And yeah, so I'll continue that story on another day. So basically, also, this year, I know it was a bit hectic, especially when I went to the mental health ward. There were some videos which I have made private because, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. Thank god no one's ever seen them, and thank god no one ever will. But maybe I'll make it into like a compilation for my family to see just how bonkers I went. Like, I didn't have a mental breakdown. I was just borderline Ghana. And also the spiritual stuff made me go ballistic. I went full on Pentecostal. And when I went Pentecostal, I've never been Pentecostal mode my entire life. I've always been the quiet one in church. I was just being goofy half the time. And I was all there. But I was just really extremely stressed. My body just went haywire. But good for me in the future, for when my family, God willing, look back and see, oh my god, this is how mom was when she was in her 20s, in her 30s, in her 40s. She was a bit crazy, ballistic, nutcase lady, but she came through it good and ready. And she found her husband when she was okay in the head. I'm just joking. It's been a good, bad, hectic couple of years, but the last years have been good. I mean, the last months have been good. I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. And this recovery won't take as long. This healing will not take as long. I have a feeling it won't take as long. Obviously, I have to work. Not work, just take my time. My video is about to end soon. So, much love. Much kisses. Good luck. And Angel Boys, thank you for protecting me.